Can't decide and torn between a romantic, comedy, action, or an indie film to watch for the weekend? Well, Golden State Media Concepts Movie Podcast is your ultimate guide to the latest movies. Join Jordan, Keith, and Mariano as the trio dissects what's latest on the blockbusters. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Movie Podcast.
After successfully building a giant robot, it's the Golden State Media Concepts Movie Podcast with Jordan.
Keith.
I wish we could build a giant robot.
I know, right?
Mariano.
Blowing the facade,
that was pretty
Mariano.
dope, bro. That was pretty dope.
That was pretty, yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. You get props for that one. That's like the best one this week.
And
They're all good, but that was really good.
It just started. Hey, guys, how's it going? It's the GSMC Movie Podcast, that thing I just shouted before. Now I'm going to say it in a more normal voice.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Today is a very special episode. I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys why, but let's just pretend everyone's dumb, and I'll just say it anyways. It's episode 23.
Why?
That's right. The big 2-3.
Yes.
The same age as
Me.
Mariano.
Yeah.
There you go.
So this is going to be a Mariano-themed episode.
All
Mainly, when I say that, me and Keith aren't going to talk whatsoever beyond this intro.
Starting right now. Just kidding.
Okay, all right. So without further ado, today's episode is going to be centered on Sausage Party, the movie with Seth Rogen in it. And, of course, we have Joshy with the amazingly talented Thomas Middleditch. So...
Yes.
What do you guys think? What do you guys
Let's go with
Sausage
Sausage Party first.
Sausage Party first?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, if you
the
insist.
one in the movie, the one in the box office right now. So
Yeah.
yes. So Sausage Party, where do we start?
We can talk about who's in it, and we can talk about what it's done, and we can get that under.
Yes. So Sausage Party is an animated film. It's out in the theaters right now, and it's directed by Greg Tiernan and Conrad Vernon. Greg has a lot of 34 credits as a director. He's done Thomas and Friends, First Class Stories.
What a show off.
He's done a lot of Thomas and Friends.
Thomas.
That seems to be his thing.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know if you guys saw kind of the hype behind this movie because of him. Because Thomas and Friends is one of those like legendary animation,
Oh yeah, he's done. Yeah,
and people made a big a big deal in a good sense that the guy who did the Thomas.
Now this is
series.
Thomas the Tank Engine, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people were excited to see that in in a movie that's animated but way more like adult oriented.
Yeah, he also did a Disney's animated storybook, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the video game, actually.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's.
I didn't know there was a Hunchback video game.
I didn't either until now.
But this guy though, as far as animated directors go, he's the
big deal.
Well, the word that they used,
Tiernan.
the word that they used was legendary.
Okay, well, so he's one director.
Yeah.
The other one is Conrad Vernon. So, and he has directed Madagascar 3 Years Most Wanted, Monsters vs. Alien, Shrek 2, and the Itsy Bitsy Spider one episode, Itzy's Favorite Haunt. Yeah, he did that one.
Which was obviously his biggest one.
And I do remember Hunchback of Notre
Magician,
Dame.
sure.
I played the game on the PC when I was a kid.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I wrong in thinking that Monsters vs. Aliens, that was Seth Rogen and this guy's first kind of collaboration?
It looks that way.
Right. Okay.
Who's going to argue with us? We're on top. We have a podcast. We can say whatever we want.
So, yes, this film does star Seth Rogen, of course.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. That explains that voice.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of hype for this movie. There was a lot going
Michael
on
Cera's
for it.
in this film.
I like Michael Cera.
You've got smaller parts with Seth Rogen's
James
friends
Franco.
like Jonah Hill and
The usual cast from
the usual suspects.
Bill Hader. Yeah. So.
So there's a lot going for it. And Miss Selma Hayek. Did you already say that one?
No, I
No.
didn't.
Yeah, Miss Selma Hayek was in that one.
Yeah. So you want to tell people what this film's about?
Okay, yeah. So this movie, it takes place in this world where food is all alive, but we're not on the very same level of perception. We can't really see what they're doing. We don't understand. But food can talk, and it can sing, and it can move around, pick things up, dance, and they all have this kind of doctrination, this dogma that they believe in, that humans, us, we're the gods, and we're going to take them away to a better place, away from the shopping market.
The great beyond.
The great beyond. But as I'm sure you guys have seen from the trailers, and also from real life, that's kind of not what happens whenever we take food home. So
it goes to a great beyond.
I was going to say.
it's this movie is basically food dealing with the revelation that it is, in fact, just food.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
this movie is so R-rated. I like it.
This is R-rated.
Yeah, to the max.
As it can be. You can't even say it's R-rated. You have to say the F word and then it's R-rated.
That's how I describe it off air. But
that movie says the F word, I think, almost a record number of times, it feels like. They really did not hold the punches on any of the language. So this is not a film for
children at all.
Yeah, no. Do not bring your kids in thinking, oh, a talking hot dog.
I don't even think, yeah, definitely. So, and Jordan, what was your take on this film?
There were some problems that I had kind of with it, through at certain points. But overall, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. It was silly. It was zany. It was funny because this is a Seth Rogen movie, and you're going into it. It's a dumb movie. Let me go ahead and say that. This is a stupid movie.
Right.
This is stupid like The Interview was. This is stupid like Pineapple Express was. And stupid like Keanu was. But it's a good stupid to me.
An enjoyable
something
stupid.
that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
This is a movie that you come out of it learning no lesson. There's no message that's being delivered other than this is really just bad. I mean, I guess
okay.
you could if
it's
you're digging.
just entertainment. That's all.
So
there's a lesson under the surface, but if you just wanted to look at it and just stare at the TV, it's also something that you can get something from.
What's the rating that you give it?
We'll talk about it a little bit more before I go into a rating. What do you think, Keith?
Well, I want to go last on this, Mariano.
Okay. I agree. It's a stupid movie, not in a bad way. It's just there's nothing very like deep or kind of subtextual about the movie. It's got some good novelty factor because I don't think I've seen a movie like this before. At least not to this degree. Like a child's movie kind of turned terrible.
And there has been,
there have been
times around, but this
one's the best one.
Yeah, this really punches it in.
This to me felt like Conker's Bad Fur Day, the video game. To see like cute little teddy bears and and like
I know what you're talking
being so
about,
terrible. Yeah. It was fun because it was new. But the novelty got a little bit old toward the end. Like after a while, like okay, I get it.
You felt like it kind of dragged on a bit,
but a bit, not much. It was a good movie.
No, I see what you mean, and it was definitely and I guess this is also you can say a Seth Rogen movie, but it was also like a stoner movie where I can see.
Yeah, that's what you mean by stupid movies. A stoner movie.
And that's basically it. But that if you keep that in mind, and if you're not searching out for anything and just kind of giving the movie what it is, it's something that's not trying to get deeper. It's not trying to get smarter. It's just
which is fine, though, because I feel like now that there have been this many Seth Rogen movies, people know what they're in for.
Yeah, you know what you're getting into.
Right.
You're not looking for, like, the next, I don't know, a hologram for the king.
And that's okay because they're enjoyable. I love Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
It just wasn't there was nothing, like, really about the movie.
I understand what you mean. What did you think, Keith?
I thought this film was horrible.
Oh, really?
This is the worst film I've seen all year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't care for it at all. I thought it was funny, maybe 3 or 5%, 3 to 5% funny. The stereotyping of all the different foods in the market was just way too alarming and too much. I didn't care for this at all. This film, this would be the lowest rating film I will probably do all year. I'm pretty sure.
What would it be, like a 1? Because I think you've
like
given it a 2.
0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, maybe a 1. This is a horrible film.
Okay.
I didn't care for it at all. It wasn't funny. It was insulting. The premise was bad. It just, I didn't care for it at all. It just,
I'm glad
I couldn't wait for it to be over. To be honest,
I'm glad that you put it so strongly because this movie has been a little polarizing. I feel like.
Oh yeah, I
so,
know why, and I just,
this
one and Suicide Squad have really you either love it or you don't.
Yeah. And I've been a fan of Seth Rogen, but watching this takes away from that.
I don't know. I like this one better than The Interview.
Have you seen The Interview, Keith?
I know. I refuse to even watch that film.
Yeah,
just on that premise was just bad.
Interview was weak.
I mean, I understand why there was so much controversy about
there's
that
something
movie.
you can learn about The Interview that really kind of taps into this movie as well as far as Seth Rogen movies go.
Well, my thing was about The Interview. I wasn't like offended by there was nothing about it like that I found like, oh, this is just terrible. It was just a boring movie to me. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that great.
No, I didn't like the interview too much either.
Yeah,
It really was.
Pineapple Express was hilarious, I
underwhelming.
thought.
Pineapple Express was good. I did enjoy that. There were some things about that film I didn't like, but I did enjoy it overall. I said, I like most of Seth Rogen's films, but this one was. This was a horrible film to me. I didn't care for it at all. Like I said, I didn't even like the premise. It just made no sense. It was just silly, and like I said, lots of stereotyping that was just, and it just came too much at ease. It was just really disturbing. Really, I mean, I wish I had another word to use instead of disturbing to tell you how much I didn't like this film.
Well, we're going to have to go to a commercial break soon. I'm sure when we come back for the wrap-up, we're going to still be talking about this. But if I can just say one thing.
So far, this is the worst film I've seen so far this year.
To close on that, though, if I could say something before we do go, I would like to say that I think the interview kind of taught me a lot, because before the interview came out, there was an unimaginable amount of hype for a movie that was a comedy. I mean, there was so much, and people even kind of thought this is a movie that's going to have an important message, something that, might start a revolution.
They were expecting about killing
so much.
A world leader. I mean, a real life world leader, and making that into a comedy, and they wonder why that was polarized.
Yeah.
I mean,
the big thing about it was people were kind of expecting this to be a message for the things that are going on in North Korea. But what it turned out to be was a dumb Seth Rogen stoner comedy. So
of course, I mean,
one of the things that knowing that kind of has prepared me to see any other Seth Rogen movie. It's where the expectations are going to lie. This is going to be a movie that I'm not going to go out of the theater thinking.
But you can't. But you shouldn't have to dumb yourself down. Like you guys didn't. You guys butchered 9 Lives, and I'm just really surprised that you like this film, but you didn't like 9 Lives. And I'm just like, I'd rather watch 9 Lives and The Shallows over this again.
Well, I liked The Shallows. I liked The Shallows.
Yeah, which is fine. I didn't, but yeah.
No worries. We'll dive into this after the commercial break.
Yeah, we'll jump into commercial. Okay.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA. From the UFC to extreme cage fighting, they got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. Welcome back to the GSMC Movie Review Podcast. I'm Mariano.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Keith.
And this little segment here, we're going to be reviewing that new indie film, Joshy.
Yeah, starring Thomas Middleditch in it. Yeah, along with a lot of other funny guys.
That one came out, what, for Sundance?
That came out for Sundance, and it came out over here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Man,
so
I liked it, but before we get into it,
you would we can talk about the
jump into some details here.
Oh, sure. So, yeah, Joshy. This film is directed by Jeff Baena, and he has also directed Life After Beth.
That was a really good movie.
Oh, was it? I haven't seen it. Okay. And he's also doing, it's in post-production right now, The Little Hours. But as a writer, he wrote Joshy. He wrote Life After Beth. And, he wrote I Heart Huckabees. Okay. I didn't know that. Good stuff.
Those good old Huckabees.
Yeah, that's a good movie. So, yeah, Joshy, story about just a regular guy who's, he's engaged to be married. And,
yeah, the engagement ends abruptly.
Yeah.
We could just say
because I didn't even watch the trailer for this. I just saw the movie. So
no, me neither. I just saw it and I really enjoyed it. So basically, synopsis is a guy 4 months after the suicide of his fiance, a man and his buddies decide to move forward with plans for a wild bachelor party. So that's
because he couldn't get the deposit back.
Yeah.
so and you get to see Joshy interact with all of his friends, and this was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I enjoyed the...
it was really cool.
I really enjoyed it as well. It was a lot of fun. And did you guys know that the music was composed by...
Devandra Bernhardt?
Yes.
Bernhardt? Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, actually, I want to get that soundtrack now that you mentioned it. Yeah. Because it was
really
pretty cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it was. I liked it a lot.
I'm a big fan of Devendra Banhart, and it was just really nice to hear his music, to recognize.
Yeah, it was very cool. Very. So, and Tom Spindledish, where is he from?
He's been in Silicon Valley.
Okay.
He's a really funny person. He's
is he a stand-up comedian or just a sketch dude or what? Just a regular actor?
Sure, he's done some stand-up. He's done. You can see him on the Comedy Bang Bang podcast. That's one of the things.
Okay, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah,
okay.
we talked about that a bit. He's in a lot of smaller movies like The Bronze, Search Party, The Final Girls. But I think his big claim to fame would be the HBO show Silicon Valley.
Okay.
So
he's a regular on that?
He's the main character on it, actually. He's
the
star of the show.
All right, so I might watch it now that I know that he's on it. So
isn't he a great actor?
Yeah, he was great. This was really good. My favorite scene, well, there was two, but the one I'll mention is his Harry Carey impersonation.
Oh, yeah.
From the Saturday Night Live guy.
That was... I know what you're talking about. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When you said Harry Carey, I didn't know what you meant for a second. I had to
Me neither.
to snap on. I thought you went a totally different route.
No, from the Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
The Saturday Night Live skit with the older guy who does that, the way he talks all funny about things. Yeah.
I'm glad you said you clarified which Harry Carey.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Nothing else.
So there's actually a lot of great stars in this movie, especially in the comedy world. A lot of people. You've got Aubrey Plaza in it. You guys know her from Parks and Rec, along with Life After Beth. Nick Kroll, he's in the league, and also he had a part in Sausage Party. So, double Nick Kroll episode. We also have Adam Paley, Jenny Slate, Brett Gelman. So,
Nick Kroll was funny in this movie. Okay, that's who he is. Okay,
even Allison Brie was had a little part in this as well. So, it was a big cast, a lot of fun.
Yeah, Lauren Graham's in it too, actually, briefly. Yeah. From Gilmore Girls, which is being filmed now on Netflix, the extended new version of that show.
You excited for Gilmore Girls?
Not at all.
Okay. At least he's honest, folks.
Not at all.
So what did you guys think of the movie? You guys liked it? It was fun?
I thought it was a great film. It was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know what to expect, especially when the opening happened. I was like, where? Because, it starts off and it's like, oh, okay, they're a happy couple in love. And the next thing I know, suicide, she's dead. And I'm just like, whoa, where's this going? I thought it was going to take this really dark rabbit hole turn. And it did, and it didn't. So,
yeah.
But I really enjoyed his friendships, his friends and how they hung by him and they looked out for him. And one of my favorite other scenes is when his friend came with his wife and kid.
Oh, yeah. That was funny. The cocaine thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we can. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's in the trailer.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
So, there's a lot of parts in it that are funny, and at the same time, there's a lot of dramatic parts in it as well.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a kind of movie I don't think we've reviewed yet. The feel of it.
It's definitely a drama with some comedy thrown in. It might be a dramedy, but it was a different, cool kind of film to watch because, suicide is such a serious issue, and it's just interesting because when they get to the cabin, they don't see Joshy yet, and you're like, okay, well, what kind of state's he going to be in? And outside appearance, when they do see him, he just looks like he's holding it all together and everything's fine, and then, eventually we get to that moment where we're all waiting for, where he starts to open up. And it's just, it's just a great film. It's just really good. And and by the time they see him, he's holding it together. And it's just, he's doing pretty good, but you're just waiting for that, that other, foot to drop or, pen.
For the facade to fall.
Yeah. And to see him express himself. And, the film gets even more interesting when that happens, but just his support, like I said, it was that ensemble cast was really good. And then his friend, Adam, who's played by Alex Ross Perry, at first when I'm watching him, he's the nerdy guy, the nerdy friend who just wants to play this game all day. And I'm just like, he's driving me nuts. But then his character opens up and grows too. And it was just, it was really cool. This was a nice, pleasant surprise.
So there was a lot to like about it.
Yes, yes, there was, especially with the movie that's still focused and centered around suicide. It was really good.
That's a touchy subject for some people. Myself included. That's something where there is a good chance that if a movie is about suicide, I'm gonna I'm going to analyze it a lot, and there's a good. I might be a little bit less forgiving for some.
Yeah,
of the
you might be
things they
very
do.
critical of it. I understand that.
Right.
I think they handled it really well, though. I think
They did.
I
they
think
did
they
a
handled
tremendous
it
job,
so
and some
well.
of the parts felt incredibly heavy. So there was a lot of things that would make you laugh out loud, but they still balanced that drama in where you have to go, "Oh my God, this is." They don't let it's funny, but they don't let you forget what this movie's about.
Exactly, and they do that in a perfect, masterful way because basically this film is about dealing with the after effects of suicide.
Right. That's
People left behind and how they're coping with their lives.
Exactly. That's one of the 2 points I would have about this movie was the first being, I think this movie is so, I think that the kind of the relational web that they built was so like realistic and not at all overly kind of dramatized for a movie or overly, humorous, that they should have pushed, like I wish somebody would have picked it up like Paramount and put it out in theaters. I feel like a lot of people would have gotten a kick out of it. I liked it was just kind of a realistic dynamic. Like I feel like when I watched this movie, if I had a friend that was going through this or I was going through this, I feel like this is how the conversations would actually go.
No, it felt very real.
Right?
It felt like because in the movie it features a lot of friends that really don't know the right answer to helping somebody get through something like this.
And there's no right answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
there
the point.
probably isn't
There is
one.
no right answer.
Yeah.
The discovery is that partying, that this and that, trying to take your mind off of it. A lot of things that you would apply whenever you're upset, those aren't really the fix, that there is no fix to this problem.
No.
And I think that was an important lesson that the audience got to learn with the friends as they're trying everything they could.
And his friends were so great because they still were able to make him laugh and
Right.
feel
I was
good
going
about
to say,
himself.
like forget about.
And remind him that he's still Joshy, no matter, despite all of that, So, and it's good to have a support system, because a lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have one. So, and then crazy things can happen. So, yeah, this was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know what to expect, but when I watched it, I was digging it. It was, it was cool. I enjoyed it a lot.
This one quickly climbed up like top 5 that we've seen so far. I like this movie a lot. I like
me too. Good recommendation, Jordan. Good recommendation.
Yeah, no,
Definitely.
I would like movies. I would like to do movies more like review more like this, and I think that says volumes about how much I cared about it because I think this movie was necessary for somebody to watch. Like, hey, if somebody's going through something tragic, it really helps you understand. It really helps you understand that nothing you can say is going to fix anything unless just being there for somebody.
I was going to say,
and that's all he needed was people to be there.
Right.
Because him being in that cabin by himself would not have been a good thing.
And it's not like some kind of Donnie Darko movie where if you put it, or Titanic where you put it on and you're going to be upset. Despite this heartbreaking subject, they handle it so well that I could watch it again and I know I'm not going to be upset after watching it.
Right. Sorry. Well, I think they focused more on the fact of, I don't know if I would call this movie based on suicide, more so than this movie's based on kind of overcoming the tragic effect of suicide. So it's not so much. I like the way Keith put it earlier of kind of going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I feel like this one is actually more focused on either we could either call it not going down that rabbit hole when one could, or climbing back out of that rabbit hole.
Yes.
And so that
agree
upward
with that.
trend creates
like
that
that
really
too.
kind of euphoric feeling of, hey, you've got your people and they help you out. Even if indirectly or even if in their own like quirky way, just being around, being the crazy people that you are, with or without the current situation, allows Joshy to kind of distance himself from the gravity of what's going on and creates that sort of like safe place where he doesn't have to be the center of attention. But sometimes that's what people want, because when you're in a position similar to this, everyone caters to you, and for some weird reason, it feels terrible. So when everybody's doing their own thing and having fun despite you or regardless of you, you are more kind of, you're more free to kind of jump in and out as you please, and it creates that little kind of like wedge of freedom that makes you want to open up. It's one of those things where like if someone's force feeding you, you don't want it, but if they offer to you, you're more likely because it's on your terms.
Yeah, I understand that.
I definitely agree, and I also felt like this film was, in regards to who he is and his friends, when he got to see them have their own problems, that helped him too.
Exactly, it humanizes them more.
Yeah. So that was cool. So my rating for this film, I'm actually going to give it 9, close to a 10.
10.
I'm gonna give it a tend to. No, I'm stuck. I'm going to give it a 9.5. That's how. Because there's a lot of other movies here that I feel like I'm going to keep going back to that really deserve that. But this movie comes incredibly close because it touches on something that I have a lot of feelings towards, and it handled it incredibly well. And I agree with you guys. I don't think this is a movie necessarily about suicide, but about overcoming tragedies.
Exactly.
Like that.
With your friends, using the support that you've got.
Right, and reminding you of the value of having good friends. And, maybe we all need to get to a cabin with friends and hang out for a weekend.
Yeah.
Just to remind ourselves that we should be living and celebrating life.
Let's get a cabin in the woods. Let's discuss the details.
But no horror movie.
During our commercial break. Right? So
Gotcha.
When we come back, we're going to be doing a wrap-up and
right.
discussing our vacation plans. So you guys hang in there.
Yes.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey, and we're back. This is Keith.
This is Mariano.
This is Jordan.
And you're listening to Golden State Media Concepts Movie Review Podcast, episode 23, as Jordan told you. And we were just finishing up talking about the great independent film, Joshy. It's a drama, it's a comedy, as my friend C would say, it's a dramedy. So that's what that's what I would call that. Great film. Really, really enjoyed it.
Can I just inject this little snippet of info too?
Sure.
It did win awards at Sundance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It won like 4.
Right
well
on.
deserved.
That's a big deal. So definitely watch this film. It's a great film. It's heavy, it's light, it's balanced, it's all of the above, and it's a good film about celebrating life, not taking things for granted, and having good friends.
I think it does a very good job with the struggle that one must appreciate to get from a dark place to a not so dark place.
Exactly.
And it did it in
agree.
such a realistic way that you just have to love it and appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree. And in regards to Sausage Party, like I said, I give it like a 1 or a 0.
I'll give Sausage Party like a... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But, like I said, there's other films with Seth Rogen that I've liked, but this was just definitely not one of them. So
I understand where you're coming from with it, Keith. Me, though, I did enjoy it. I liked what it was. I didn't want it to be anything else other than it was, which was just a dumb, not a kids movie style.
Yeah, I just want to say though, for the masses and for those listening, comedy does not have to be dumb to be good.
Oh, not at all.
And
No.
have a lot of comedy today, it gets a little too dumb, and that gets really agitating as well. Comedy can be smart. Richard Pryor is smart. Lenny Bruce is smart.
Oh, but Richard Pryor is
He's a classic. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
George
legendary.
Carlin
It
is
depends
smart.
on where you're looking, because
Gilda
even
Radner
whenever
is smart. Jane Curtin is smart.
George Carlin was so good. But and no offense to Seth Rogen, but I mean Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Seth Rogen don't belong in the same sense.
Like,
so, I mean,
I agree, man.
there was
That's
dumb
good.
comedy going on when Richard Pryor was made, and there's smart comedy that's going on right now with Sausage Party made. It's all
I
about where
agree.
you look and what you're in the mood for.
well, here's what I was getting at was that
I think comedy's gotten a lot dumber now than back in the day.
I think Seth Rogen movies started strong and then got weaker and weaker. This one I liked better than his other recent stuff, like
The
what was
Interview.
I'm sorry.
The Interview.
The Interview was, I watched it. It was just boring. Like there was nothing like too offensive about it or anything. I just couldn't get through it, and I really didn't want to watch it. I just watched it because people hyped it so much. So I was like, okay, well, I need to see what's going on here, and I really couldn't get through it. I got bored. This Is the End was so annoying to me. I couldn't even finish it. I went to Hollywood Horror Nights and Universals this year, and I didn't even want to go through the This Is the End maze. It was just so like
Ouch.
yeah. But so this one, I mean, as far as his later movies,
You hated the movie so much
You
that
didn't even want to see the maze.
if they turned it into a maze.
It's like that sometimes,
But the thing is,
man.
though,
You
it's not
can't
that I
get
hated the movie. It was just so bland. I just had better things to do. I just went back to the Halloween maze. It was so good. But
Nor would I walk this movie if it was a maze
seriously,
made out of corn.
I mean, I
There
had
it is.
there was just no interest level. But this one, comedy doesn't have to be dumb. But I think every now and again it's okay to be kind of dumb. And as long as you're trying things that are somewhat new, and to make like some of it was kind of cute. Like I like the whole spaghetti thing. I won't give away too much, but the can of spaghetti. Some of it was a little like, okay, I can see where that's somewhat funny. So I enjoyed the movie. I'm gonna give it like a 6. I mean, it wasn't great. It was nothing new. It was nothing spectacular, but it was, to me, like it did the job it was supposed to do, which was to be a dumb stoner movie that is dumb funny.
I've seen other dumb stoner movies that were better than this.
Me too.
Actually, I'm not going to even give it a 1. I'm going to give it a 0.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen better
It's
movies.
the
as well.
lowest rated movie that we've done is Sausage Party.
What are you rated at?
I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen better stoner movies, but but I've also seen worse actually. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my 6.
I would much rather watch 9 Lives and Shallows than that.
Well, me too. Me too. But I like The Shallows.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys didn't.
But it's cool.
Yeah, not my type
So-
of movie. I'm glad that you did, and I'm glad
See,
that you're
and
on
like
the show.
Neighbors too, I liked that one, but yeah, this I can't do. Yeah, I can't get those 2 hours back.
The only reason I didn't bring up Neighbors in Seth Rogen's latest films is because those kind of broke form from the dumb stoner movie type.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah, no, that's
why I left those out. But yeah, Neighbors
it
were
wasn't
actually
a
okay.
Seth Rogen made movie. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, but like I said, I think right now we depend way too much on dumb humor, and it gets, it gets kind of tiring after a while.
I think Joshy balanced that out though.
I think so. Yeah,
Right?
that was it. Yeah, I enjoyed that film immensely. It's an excellent film. So
I think okay, fine.
yeah, it made up for it for me.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll agree with Keith in this sense. Sausage Party should have been the indie film. Joshy should have been pushed. Like somebody should have picked up
Right?
Joshy and put it in theaters.
Yeah, but that's name recognition.
Yeah. Oh, I
Seth
totally
Rogen's-
agree.
He's a Hollywood star. So
I
that's,
totally agree.
But I think just because Joshy was an independent movie, it's definitely
It
still
makes
worth
it even
people's
better
time.
in some ways.
Yeah, because it's like a hidden gem,
Yes.
like the fundamentals of caring.
You'll find,
Yeah.
I mean, there are great mainstream films, and a lot of times we get the chance to review them on this podcast, and that's awesome. But a lot of your better films, a lot of times, are independent films.
Definitely.
You know, B movies, independent films. So yeah, those are our hidden treasures.
But
Trust
to me, Seth Rogen has gotten progressively worse. Like Superbad was hilarious.
oh yeah, that's
and
a great movie.
and then look at today. Like
Yeah.
that has been a downward
Preaching
trend.
to the choir, bro.
Right.
But I even liked Green Hornet. I even enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, the Green Hornet was okay,
Yeah.
but I even consider that one kind of different and broke form a little too.
Yeah,
but it was
so-
a good movie, and
If I'm in the mood for a stoner comedy, then I like Seth Rogen. It's what it is. I mean,
me too. But
everyone's got that. Like I could watch a dumb comedy right now. I could just sit down and just
yeah,
just turn
well,
it
to
on.
me, it's when you want to switch off mentally and you don't want to think about a movie. But
Yeah.
there have been better. Like Pineapple Express is my stoner comedy. Actually,
I can
even
see that.
Superbad. is my
I don't
stoner
really
comedy.
have a stoner comedy. I just have comedies that I either like or like I'll watch Friday. I mean, you might say that's a stoner comedy, but to me, it's just a comedy.
Oh, Friday! I have deep respect for Friday though, because
So,
I grew up around
you
the
know.
same area, so I have to love like
so But
Friday has
I hear
nostalgia
ya.
factor for me.
Yeah, so I watch a film like that or something, or I watch The Big Lebowski, and that might be considered a stoner comedy too. But to me, it's just a good comedy. So,
Okay, so Desert Island it.
oh come on,
I know.
Joshy baby, all the way.
Yeah, Joshy was so good.
Yeah, that was funny.
I think Joshy was the better of the two films, but that one's way too heavier for me to like. If I had one movie stuck in an island,
What's that tell you? That I'd rather see a film that has to deal with suicide on an island versus Sausage Party.
I think-
What's that tell you, dude?
I think Joshy is one of the better films we've done. Period.
It is.
I love
It
Joshy.
is.
I think
it's
so.
an excellent film. I agree. So
yeah.
hands way down, Joshy, all the
And thumbs
down.
way up. Definitely pick up Joshy. I looked up that one too. That one was like $6 to rent on Amazon.
Oh, right on.
Totally worth it.
It's worth it.
Do
It's
it.
It's worth even more than that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It's actually worth a
Like I
lot
said-
more
I'd
than
say
that.
it's worth
I
buying
would
it.
buy that film. I say I look forward to purchasing that film eventually.
Definitely.
So,
I think I
one
could
to
buy
own.
it too. I think
Yeah,
that's. I don't
so-
ever usually buy a physical copy.
So
but-
good recommendation once again, Jordan. So that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess with all that being said, that's the end of the show right now.
Oh yes, it is. And
Anybody want to take us out of here?
Yeah, well, I can definitely say thank you once again for listening to us. You never know what you're going to get until you hear us.
Because life is like a box of chocolates.
Right? That's the beauty of the Golden State Media Concepts Movie Review Podcast. And you can always like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can get us on Instagram. And there's Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, as Mariano always tells me. And also GSMCpodcast.com.
And iTunes.
Yes, thank you. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. Thank you. And I'm Keith.
I'm Mariano.
I'm Jordan.
And once again, thanks again. And we'll see you somewhere out in space.
Sounds good.